sure you guys know who Sam Ronan is. He is a DNC Chair candidate who is a fervent Bernie Sanders supporter, and I have had him on the show twice. Once for a kind of an intro interview, and then the second time was for a formal discussion on policy positions and the real topics that affect the American people. So after that, I've been trying to get him as much exposure as possible on the show and try to cover him as much as I can for you guys, because that's what a good reporter slash journalist would do, even though I don't consider myself a journalist because I'm more of a commentator. Well, I'm not a journalist, let's put it that way. But anyway, so the Humanist Report, Mike Figueredo from the Humanist Report did an interview with him, and so did Jimmy Dore from the Jimmy Dore Show. Both after me, keep that in mind. So they are supporting Sam Ronan over Keith Ellison. Now, why would they do that? So we take into account Keith Ellison's his very hawkish foreign policy, and how he did support Bernie Sanders, to his credit, when it was tough to find representatives who were endorsing Bernie Sanders. With that said, though, he has a very hawkish foreign policy positions, and he is also more of a shill than you would have thought. So he seems to try to keep in the middle between like Clinton supporters and Sanders supporters. So he wrote this article that was titled, "If You Don't Like Hillary Clinton, You're Falling for 20 Years of Republican Propaganda," when that's clearly not true. It's her policy position, how in 1990 she advocated for a single payer, that's what she campaigned for. Then all of a sudden she gets hundreds of thousands of dollars from the healthcare industry, and whoop, I'm not really for it anymore. I'm done. How about for gay marriage? In 2008, she was against it, and then as soon as the polls flipped, as soon as the majority of the people believed in gay marriage and thought that accepted it, as soon as that happened, she flipped her position in 2016. Also, she voted for the Iraq War. She said she cast her vote with conviction. Conviction would have been casting it like Bernie Sanders did, by saying no. Bernie Sanders had a phenomenal speech on that. It was unbelievably prophetic, to be honest with you. But anyway, so she voted for the Iraq War, causes forget about the hundreds of thousands, or not hundreds, but thousands, and some say 100,000 Iraqi civilians killed. That is in it of itself, but most people don't shoot an eye at that because it's not American lives. However, thousands of American soldiers died and still are today because we still have some boots on the ground in Iraq. So all of those could have been saved. We throw $1 trillion into it. We create a power vacuum by taking out the only stabilized government there, and we created ISIS as a result of that power vacuum. She voted for the Patriot Act. Bernie Sanders voted against it. The Patriot Act, shreds the Constitution rips it to shreds, and I believe it's Fourth Amendment, protection from unwarranted search or seizure. So unwarranted search, you can't search someone without a warrant. There's a reason for that. Now, let's say some Middle Eastern dude is trying to research and he looks up Al Qaeda and ISIS. Boom, second type of 9/11 happens. Who's to say that the FBI doesn't go to that person and say, "Hey, dog, we're gonna take you to Guantanamo Bay for some questioning." They torture you there and all that type of shit. The Bush administration was extremely filthy. But I'm getting a little bit on a tangent here. But the point is, Keith Ellison, he is. Last touch on Keith Ellison. When the moderator asked if they cheated Bernie Sanders out of a fair election, nobody raised their hand because they were pussies. What did Keith Ellison say about lobbying money going to the DNC that results in someone like Debbie Wasserman Schultz being the chair and then dragging Bernie Sanders or anybody, or just pushing outsiders out? No, we want corporate Democrats. Now, corp Dems. Anyways, so Keith Ellison, he said that it should be a democratic process to figure out whether we want lobbying or not. No, motherfucker, don't take lobbying money because it leads to corruption. Money corrupts nowadays, man, and it always has. It corrupts. So, anyways, they support Sam Ronan because he's a straight shooter. They agree with him on policy, and he is someone that we really need in today's day and age, to be completely honest with you. He's 27. He's a military veteran. He's from Ohio. He has, in my opinion, a bright future in politics ahead of him. Make sure you check him out. Follow him on Twitter. The dude's Twitter's exploding. It gained like over 1,000 followers. It's like It's grown over 1.5k followers in the past like week or two. And just make sure you know about him. He's awesome.